The WNBA just got caught red-handed rigging the rulebook to save Caitlin Clark from a suspension, and the fallout from this decision is going to shatter the league. We are witnessing a level of institutional panic that nobody has ever seen before. The league office is not just bending the rules anymore. They're snapping them in half and burning the evidence because they are terrified of what happens if their cash cow misses a single game. This is not about basketball anymore. This is about power, control, and a desperate cover-up to protect a superstar who is being hunted by jealous veterans and incompetent referees.
Yo, if you love real basketball stories, deep dives, and the drama behind the game, you're in the right place. But if you want to take it to the next level, hit that join button. Members get exclusive content, early access, and behind-the-scenes drops you won't see anywhere else. Plus, you're directly supporting the channel and helping us bring you even better content. So if you rock with Basketball Spilled, become a member today. Let's keep the game alive.
Let us rewind the clock to the exact moment the league's entire integrity imploded. It was a heated matchup, and the atmosphere was electric. Caitlin Clark, the face of the franchise and the reason arenas are selling out, was in her bag. But the opposition was not trying to beat her at basketball. They were trying to break her spirit. Natasha Cloud, a veteran who has been watching Clark steal every headline and every endorsement check, saw her opportunity. This was not a basketball play. This was a calculated mugging. Cloud bumped Clark off the ball, a cheap shot designed to send a message. In the chaos of that bump, Clark was shoved into an official, and that is the moment the referees saw their chance to destroy her. The whistle blew, and the referee marched over with the arrogance of a mall cop to slap Clark with a technical foul. Not just any technical. This was number 8, the nuclear option, the automatic suspension. The fine was either $1,500 or $5,000, and it did not matter because the money was nothing to her. The real cost was the one-game ban against the New York Liberty. The league was ready to bench their biggest star for the biggest game of the season. The officials looked at that situation and decided that Caitlin Clark was the aggressor. Let that sink in. A player gets shoved into a ref by a bitter rival, and somehow Clark is the one who gets punished. That is not incompetence. That is a hit job. For a few hours, the basketball world was stunned and the fans were furious. The narrative was spinning out of control. The message was clear. The refs are trying to humble the superstar. They are trying to teach her a lesson because they hate how much power she has. They want to prove that nobody is bigger than the game, but in doing so they expose their own fragile egos. They wanted to show the world that they could take her down, that they could strip her of her status, and force her to watch from the locker room while the Liberty ran wild. It was a power trip executed by zebras who get booed louder than the villains in a wrestling ring. But what happened next changes everything. It is the smoking gun, and it is the proof that the league is operating with 2 separate rulebooks. Roughly 2 hours after the game, the WNBA office quietly, almost sheepishly, rescinded the technical foul. They folded like a cheap suit. They looked at the data, they looked at the ticket sales, and they looked at the television ratings for the upcoming Liberty game, and they panicked. They realized that suspending Caitlin Clark was a financial death sentence. They realized that without her on the floor, the ratings would crater. The league office did not review that play for justice. They reviewed it for revenue. They did not care about the rules. They cared about the bottom line. This is the secret reason Caitlin Clark escaped suspension. It was not because the play was clean. It was because the WNBA front office had a collective heart attack when they realized they were about to kill their own golden goose. They undercut their own referees, and they absolutely destroyed the credibility of the officials by admitting the call was wrong. But by doing so, they also confirmed the ugliest truth of all. The WNBA is rigged to protect Caitlin Clark. That creates a massive civil war inside the league. You have veterans who are grinding every single day who would have been suspended without a second thought if they were in that situation. But when it is Clark, the league hits the panic button and starts rewriting history. Think about the psychological impact of this. For the referees, this is the ultimate betrayal. The league hired these officials to call the game, and the moment they call a foul on the wrong person, the league throws them under the bus. It tells the entire officiating crew that their authority is meaningless. It tells them that Caitlin Clark is untouchable. It tells them that the star system is real, and if they dare to enforce the rules against the face of the league, their decisions will be overturned by a bunch of suits in a boardroom who are staring at a spreadsheet. How are these refs supposed to call the rest of the season? How are they supposed to look Clark in the eye knowing that any call they make against her will be scrutinized as a personal vendetta? The league has created a toxic, radioactive environment where the refs are now the enemy, Clark is the victim, and the front office is the corrupt judge. This decision has cracked the foundation of the WNBA. It has confirmed every conspiracy theory that fans have been screaming about for months. The league claims they want competitive balance, but when push came to shove, they chose marketing over merit. They chose the highlight reel over the rulebook. They are terrified of letting the product fail without her. It is a massive admission of weakness from a league that pretends to be about empowerment and equality. Right now it is about protecting the investment. Now let us shift the focus to the architect of this chaos, the villain in the story. Natasha Cloud. This was not an accident. This was jealousy in its purest, most toxic form. Cloud is a perfect example of a player who has been in the league, doing the dirty work and getting the tough assignments, but watching from the shadows as Caitlin Clark walks in and takes over the entire sport. The spotlight that Cloud has craved for years was snatched away in a matter of months. Clark is on the billboards. Clark is on the commercials. Clark is the reason the arenas are full. And Cloud cannot handle it. Watching that play back, you see the truth in Cloud's body language. It is the body language of a bitter rival. She saw the play developing, and she saw the opportunity to send Clark crashing into the official. It was a 2-for-1 special. She wanted to hurt Clark, and she wanted to get her in trouble. It was a veteran move, a dirty play designed to bait the superstar into a reaction. She was trying to trigger the meltdown. She was trying to get Clark to lose her cool and swing, because if Clark throws a punch, the league cannot protect her. Cloud was trying to force the league's hand, but it backfired spectacularly. Instead of Clark looking like the bad guy, Cloud exposed her own irrelevance. She proved that the only way she can stay in the headlines is by attaching herself to the Clark storyline. She is a supporting character in her own career, and that realization is eating her alive. This is what happens when ego clashes with reality. Cloud is a solid player, but she is not a phenomenon. And when you are a solid player watching a phenomenon take over your league, the envy turns you into a villain. It ruins your game. It ruins your focus. Instead of trying to win the game, you are trying to win a street fight. That is a loser's mentality, and it is poisoning the locker room. You can see it in her press conferences. The forced smiles, the passive-aggressive comments about physicality. She is trying to frame herself as the gatekeeper of the old school, but really, she is just angry that the new school is passing her by. She is angry that Clark is tougher than she expected. Because here is the thing about Caitlin Clark. She does not back down. She gets hit. She gets bumped. She gets trash-talked, and she keeps shooting. She keeps dropping dimes. She keeps selling out arenas. That is the ultimate revenge. That is what destroys a player like Cloud. She cannot beat her on the scoreboard. She cannot beat her in the ratings, and she cannot beat her in the court of public opinion. The league's decision to rescind the technical is effectively an admission that Cloud's tactics are illegitimate. It is a public shaming of Cloud. It tells the world that the league saw her bump, saw the manipulation, and decided that Clark was the victim of a dirty play. That is a massive blow to Cloud's reputation. She has been exposed as a jealous enforcer who tried to take down the queen and missed. Now she has to live with the fact that she is the reason the league had to step in and save Clark. She made Caitlin Clark look even more important than she already did. And what about the future? This is the terrifying part. The WNBA has painted a massive target on Caitlin Clark's back. By rescinding the foul, they have dared every other player in the league to test the limits. They have sent a message that if you touch Clark, the league will protect her. That is like waving a red cape in front of a bull. The enforcers are watching. The bitter veterans are watching. They are going to test that protection. They are going to hit her harder. They are going to bump her more. They are going to try to force the league into a corner where they have to suspend her. And when that happens, the league will have to choose between their integrity and their profit margin again. This is a ticking time bomb. We are heading toward the playoffs, and the pressure is mounting. The league is holding its breath, praying that Clark does not pick up that 8th technical again. Because if she does, the entire charade collapses. If she gets another technical, the league will have to suspend her. And if they do not, they are admitting that the rulebook means nothing. But if they do suspend her, they risk alienating millions of fans who will tune out. It is a lose-lose scenario that they created with their own cowardice. They tried to have it both ways, and now they are stuck in a PR nightmare that is only going to get worse. The level of officiating incompetence is staggering. The refs are making it up as they go along. They are calling games like they have money on the spread. The initial call to give Clark a technical for being shoved into an official was one of the worst calls in recent memory. It showed a complete lack of spatial awareness and a total disregard for the context of the play. It was a reflex call, a power trip, an attempt to silence the loudest voice on the court. And when the league reversed it, they revealed that there is no standard. There is no consistency. It is chaos. It is anarchy. It is a league that is being run by reactionary panic. Caitlin Clark is caught in the middle of the storm, and she is handling it with a level of poise that is infuriating her enemies. She is not complaining. She is not whining. She is letting her game do the talking. But behind the scenes, you have to imagine the frustration is building. She knows she is being targeted. She knows the refs are looking for reasons to whistle her. She knows the veterans are trying to knock her out of the game. And she knows that the league office is using her as a shield for their own incompetence. It is a massive burden to carry, but she is carrying it because she has no choice. She is the one who has to walk onto that floor every night, knowing that one bad call could derail her season. The fans are not stupid. They see what is happening. They see the double standard. They see the league executives sweating in their luxury boxes. They see the referees swallowing their whistles or blowing them too hard. They see the jealousy in the eyes of the opposing players, and they're furious. They're filling the arenas, not just to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball, but to protest the corruption. They are booing the refs louder than ever. They are chanting her name. They are making it impossible for the league to ignore the issue. The fans are the only ones holding the league accountable, and the league is trying to silence them by pretending everything is normal. But everything is not normal. The WNBA is a powder keg. The locker rooms are divided. The players are choosing sides. You have the veterans who think Clark gets too much hype and too much protection. They're seething with resentment. Then you have the younger players who see Clark as the future and are inspired by her. But they are also watching how the league treats her with special gloves, and they are wondering if the rules even apply to the superstars. It is a toxic dynamic. It is a civil war. The league has successfully destroyed the unity of its own workforce by playing favorites. This is not how you build a league. You do not build a league by rigging the rules for one player. You build a league on fairness, on competition, on the idea that every player is held to the same standard. The WNBA has thrown all of that out the window. They have turned the sport into a reality TV show where the producers step in to save the main character. They have disrespected the history of the game. They have disrespected the players who came before Clark. They have disrespected the referees. And most importantly, they have disrespected the fans. The final buzzer on this situation is far from sounding. This is just the beginning of the meltdown. The villain has sealed her fate as a bitter footnote in the Clark era. The league has sealed its fate as a corrupt institution that will bend any rule to protect its bottom line. Caitlin Clark has been placed in an impossible position where she has to prove she can win despite the favoritism, not because of it. The team dynamic will never be the same. The trust is gone and the innocence is lost. The next time Clark steps on that floor, everyone is watching. The refs are scared to make a call. The opponents are looking to take a shot. The league is praying for no controversy. But controversy is coming. It is unavoidable now. The floodgates are open, and the WNBA is drowning in its own lies. They tried to save her, but they might have just lit the match that burns the whole season down.